What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Canes Inside Podcast, powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Big news. Brody Jennings, cornerback, 4-star, originally committed to Michigan from Jacksonville Mandarin High School, one of the best cornerbacks in the state of Florida, if not the country, commits to the University of Miami. This is one we've been talking about for a while as a potential flip. Was not guaranteed. Michigan made a strong run here. Florida wanted to get in there. Florida State wanted to get in there, but Miami was able to get the job done for who player they believe is one of the top man-to-man corners in the entire country. Let's pull up the Twitter post there. There you see it. Locked in. I'm home. There's Brody Jennings. They call him Spider-Man. Follow that one right there. Cover corner with just a lot of ability, man. So when you look at the Brody Jennings file, and hear coaches talk about him, 6'1", 170. Like I said, they consider him one of the top man-to-man corners in the country because of his fluidity, his transition, his footwork. He has good speed. Great bloodlines. His brother Bradley played for the Canes. His sister Brittany Jennings is a sprinter on the team right now, so that's where the speed kind of comes in there on that side. You talk about his father, who tragically passed away right before his official visit. Bradley Jennings, senior linebacker, really good linebacker for Florida State. Miami native who passed away right before that visit. Brody took the visit anyway, said it was really a great event for him. Obviously, he was going through so much that the fact that the visit kind of lifted his spirits was great to hear, and clearly made an impact because he decided to flip from a team in Michigan who they know how to pick their players, man. It's Michigan. This is no joke. And they decided that they wanted Brody Jennings to be a Wolverine, but ultimately he decides to be a Miami Hurricane. Brandon's fired up. Joe Jenkins fired up. Chat's going crazy right now, man. People are excited here. Will the Big Ten in Michigan sue Miami? I don't know. Get a lot of these Big Ten corners here. Jennings and Waters both got those DJ Ivy arms. Yeah, a lot of length in the cornerback room right now for the Canes. Pac Mahomes fired up. Philip Rusamano. Knew we were due for some good news. Just saw a Canes flag flying on the Jersey Shore. There we go. A lot of people fired up here in the comments on this July 5th. And really, this was something that needed to get done. They've been working it for a while. I've been told for a long time. This was, in their minds, one of the best, like I said, man cover corners in the country. And you see this type of player go to Michigan, get developed, and goes a first, second round pick later on. They do the best job, I think, of probably evaluating in the country pound for pound. When you look at their blue chip rate or their class rankings relative to the NFL draft success they have, particularly on defense, I think that's where Michigan really thrives. And Miami was able to get this one done. Let's take a look here at the film. The reason everybody's all excited about this player with Bradley Jennings. Mandarin High School, same high school as Carson Beck, same high school as Bryson Wright, who we've been talking about is probably the best young player in his class. And there you see him, man. You can find the football. He can play the ball. He can tackle. Obviously, his brother and his dad, both, physical, real tough linebackers, known for kind of stuffing the run and knocking people out. So he's got that, but then he also has the speed. I believe his mother was an athlete too. Don't quote me on that. I know she's from Miami. But obviously his sister's a sprinter, so there's a lot of speed in that family, and that's what we have here with a Brody Jennings. There you see him blitzing. You see he's got plenty of speed, finishes the play with a sack. Mauricio Torres wants to know how many posts on Canes Insight, 7.45 million. So make sure those posts are going up with this commitment thread. People are excited about the addition of Brody Jennings, so go check that out if you want to see some celebration. In fact, I'll probably pull that thread up here later. But there's Brody Jennings. You see him on an island, watching the quarterback. Whole way, sees the ball, no problem. So, I mean, look, I think when you look at the Miami team last year, obviously there was a lack of talent at cornerback. There were some good players, but not enough. And it hurt. I mean, we saw the Syracuse game. We saw what happened throughout the course of the season. In the Iowa State game, we were down to playing Markeith Williams, who's really a safety at corner. And their team doesn't even use that many receivers, Iowa State. So we could have been really looking thin, even more than we were. So that was a really untenable situation at corner. You saw what happened in the offseason. Xavier Lucas added at corner, Ethan O'Connor, Charles Brantley, Keontae Scott. So a lot of cornerback talent added, but that's a lot of one and dones. Lucas probably will be longer, but Ethan O'Connor too. But Brantley's a one and done. Keontae Scott's a one and done. So you need to add some youth in that room. And I think Jalen Waters, who I saw at OT7, is a big-time player out of Tampa. So you go to Tampa, number one. Then you go to Charlotte, North Carolina with Camden Portis as your nickel guy, and then Brody Jennings here as your fast, athletic, reactive outside corner. So really a great, great get. I just like how he finds the football, man. This is a guy who knows how to play. Sometimes you see these corners are just size speed guys, and that'll get you picked up. That'll get you a D1 offer if you have the size and speed. But this guy's got good size, good speed, and then the ability to find the ball, man. Just the instincts. You love that. And then again, I'm trying to mention what the staff told me. They just love his fluidity and his transition skills, his ability to transition, his feet. It's kind of the natural cornerback traits on top of just, like I said, the size and speed. There you see him getting physical. If you ever saw his dad play or his brother play, physicality is not going to be the issue with him. So when you put the speed on top of that, you can see why Michigan is after a guy like that. And again, Michigan, Will Johnson, they've been getting good defensive players and making them great defensive players. And I think they saw in this guy somebody who likes to play the game, somebody with the instinct, someone that can see the field. And then right here, boom, not afraid to tackle and get physical as well. So a little Jacksonville pipeline too, kind of brewing a little bit. When you got Carson Beck, obviously we opened that Jacksonville pipeline up with Todd Hartley and guys like Jack Quarterman, Michael Pickney, all those guys. But, we've been doing some steady work in Jacksonville. Not so much on this year's team. Let me know I know we got a lot of Duval County folks on the chat. Let me know if I'm wrong or right here, but I don't think there's too many Duval players on the team right now. As I just kind of go through the Rolodex here. Let's see. I think Matt McCoy is from St. Augustine. Do I have that right? Let me know in the chat. Jalen Rivers, of course, from Jacksonville. Great call there, Blue, who just got drafted by Cincinnati Bengals. I saw him walking around the team facility looking lean, mean, ready to go, man. He looks like a pro. He was just hanging around. I'm sure he's up on the way to Cincinnati now soon. But he is from Jacksonville. I believe he went to Oakleaf, right? So nice to keep adding to that pipeline. Mike Bridgeford saying, does Miami have a shot at Prairie Right today? I don't think so. Let's take a look at another Brody Jennings video here. Let's watch his sophomore film, see how much he's progressed. So I believe he was originally at Sandalwood, which if I recall correctly is where we got his brother. Then he transferred to Mandarin. So you see the development here. Clearly had the instincts back then too. Nice read there. So Brandon pointing out McCoy's from St. Augustine. Plass is from Jacksonville. Arab saying no shutters. Yeah, no, the lighting's not great here. I wasn't planning on doing all these shows, but I should have planned a little bit. I was going to bring my big light. My wife said, don't bring the giant light. Man, we're not making a movie out there. But I decided, yeah, I'll listen to her. Bad idea. We did like 3 podcasts already. Hopefully some more. Camden Burton, big time ad. He's a big time ad himself to the website, man. Great job with the edits. Is this him so he played some receiver then. I'm guessing that's him, right? 13. Yeah, so he played both ways. I didn't know that. This is his Sandalwood highlight. So you see some of that athleticism and ball skills playing both sides of the ball. I didn't know he did that. There you see him. He looks pretty good at receiver, actually. Definitely fluid. His brother and his dad were good athletes for linebackers, but really, I would say at least his brother was much more of a box linebacker, power guy. He had another brother, I should say, that also played, I want to say, at Maryland. So this is an athletic family. They're seeing blocking kicks. Great sign of athleticism. So I think he had another brother, Braden, if I recall, who'd been in the portal a little bit, but was a very talented player coming out as well. So just an athletic family. There you see red zone. He has those reaction skills, man. He's someone that's a true corner. He's not just one of those size speed guys pulling up the stats. The 29 tackles. They didn't really try him much. Under Armour camp MVP. I think I mentioned that from this past year in Miami. Look at the speed and physicality. Miami really, really wanted this guy. I can't emphasize enough. Going back to before the spring, they told him, when I asked, who do you really want to flip? They're like, Brody Jennings. We got to get Brody Jennings from Michigan. He's been a priority from the beginning. We've talked about him on Canes Insights since way, way back. I want to say we did it in the bank back in January, it feels like. So we've been on this Brody Jennings tip for a while, and you see why. I mean, here you see a sophomore film, more athleticism than maybe he showed on his junior film where he's more of a pure corner on a better team. You see he has some ability to return some kicks. He has some receiving ability and then doing what he does best here. But yeah, 4 4-star corners, man. Shows you how much far time's come or how far we've come in time with Jalen Waters, a 4-star corner, Cameron Portis, a 4-star corner, Jontavius Wyman, who's committed to Georgia previously, a 4-star corner. Now Brody Jennings flipping from Michigan. Look at the schools we're flipping these guys to from, and these are not drops. Michigan did not want to lose Brody Jennings. They fought to keep him. They brought him on a visit. They really wanted to get this guy. Corey Smith saying, bloodline's crazy, man. You're right. A couple linebackers. I bet the mom must have run track or something to have a son who's playing corner and a daughter running track. She must be the speed demon of the family. But shout out to the Jennings family overall, man. I mean, you think about what this guy had to deal with. It's just horrible. As his dad kind of sees his son living his dream like his other sons, and then tragedy with the heart attack. I mean, that was really just a horrible situation. It's amazing that he decided to go through with his visit. I mean, he must have wanted to have just kind of get his mind off. And, shout out to Miami and their whole team. Obviously a sensitive situation. Those things are so celebratory. And I'm sure it was a different vibe with Brody respecting what his family was going through at the same time, trying to give him something to get his mind off things. But so shout out for everybody on the part of the recruiting. I'm impressed with what he's doing on special teams here. When you're the guy coming off the edge, you saw Vance Spafford do this a lot. That's a big sign of first step quickness and explosiveness. Ed Reed, of course, as good as it gets in that one. So, yeah, man, fired up about this commitment. I know Canes Insight's fired up. Let me pull up the website just to see what people are saying. Yeah, we got 7.48 million post and counting here. And the Brody Jennings thread, I'm sure, is getting some love. Let's pull up here. Let's just go through. If you're not signed up to Canes Insight, what are you doing, man? First of all, like and subscribe to this show. Got a ton of people on now, but also like and join Canes Insight. It's free. So here we do the commitment story. Manfred Kane doing my ad for me. CanesConnection.com/CIS. Be part of the solution. That's how we get guys like Brody Jennings. Here we got some more. The Tiger Woods meme, one of my favorites. The GIF when things go well. There's Will Harris with the checkmate. Four of the top 30 quarterbacks in the composite rankings. Yeah, I think Will Harris had a lot of criticism, so people are kind of pushing back on that, as you can see with the sarcasm there. 4 out of the top 30 cornerbacks in the country committed. Will Harris being Miami's new cornerback coach. So Big O Canes flexing there. Class also bumps us. This commit also bumps us above Michigan, right? They lose one, we get one. So now we're number 7 in the class rankings. What an incredible turnaround. But I don't know which coach this is. I guess the Pittsburgh Penguins coach. The fist bump's been around for like 10 years. There you go. So a lot of juice, a lot of excitement about the Canes. And Philly's saying, finally, get some good news, man. We needed some. Portis for president. Portis' son, part of the class. Camden Portis ran a 10.9. He's got some speed too. More of a nickel guy. Mohammed saying, awesome work. Hey, listen, these reaction videos are easy. Talking about bad news is hard. Canada Kane. Wolverine DB scouting is great, and to flip him is a great addition. I agree. Could not agree more. Wolverine, just defensive scouting in general, they do a really, really good job, I think. When you talk about defensive tackle, linebacker, nickel, safety, corner, those guys get drafted high, and you go back and look at their rankings. This is a blue chip player, Brody Jennings, but he's like on a lower 4-star, I guess you would say. Michigan gets guys like that, man, and they go pro first round. That's just kind of what they do. So really, really good get here to flip somebody from Michigan. Great question from Mrs. G. Are we playing more press coverage and coaching cornerbacks to be more physical? I think talking to people around the program in spring, they're actually watching. This is actually before the spring. I was with some coaches, including some high-ranking ones, watching a workout, and you see the corners out there in that setting. I think Xavier Lucas was already there, and they were saying, we're going to be able to play man coverage this year. That was kind of like laughing, like, hey, we're going to be able to play man coverage this year. Not that you didn't last year, but you didn't do it as much because you were worried about your corners not having the ability to go and be relied upon in that setting, which limits what you can do from a defensive standpoint. And I think forgetting about the defensive scheme change and everything else, I think just the ability to have corners like this, both this year and going forward, is going to allow you to do more from a secondary standpoint. Rocco saying last flip from Michigan was Elias Rudolph, right? Where'd he end up? Was even a flip. He was a flip. he ended up at UNLV. I think they paid him a good amount of money to go there. Cheering for him. Very talented guy. Rough situation he came from and was able to overcome that, get to college, qualify, and you hope he just has a lot of success there at UNLV. They're putting together a pretty good G5 situation, kind of like Texas Tech is at the Power 4 level, but UNLV is kind of like a lighter version of that in G5. So we'll see how that program goes. But with Rudolph, he just got lost in the shuffle between Booker Pickett, Marquise Lightfoot, other guys his size maybe were further along, but he was a Michigan flip. So yeah, man, fired up about this commit. Excited to watch him, and appreciate everybody joining us on the show. Like and subscribe to Canes Insight. We're on every day, man. Plus, we're on for these instant reacts as well. So join us on the show and like and subscribe. You know what it is. Go Canes.